Today on the channel, Apocalypse Now. From the Marvel Legends retro card wave, we've got Apocalypse.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Legends Retro Wave unboxing and review. And today we got a special one. We got one of my all-time favorite bad guys. We've got Apocalypse. Remember, for all your X-Men, Marvel Legends needs, and a whole lot more, make sure you're going over to Entertainment Earth. Use the link in the description below or discount code Kyle to save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. Gotta get a deal all day long. But of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, let's take a look at the packaging on Apocalypse. Now, Apocalypse, one of my favorite Marvel Legends, or I should say Marvel Comics bad guys in the X-Men universe. Absolutely loved him back in the day. Loved him in the animated series. Loved the old school Toy Biz toys. When I was a kid, that's what this represents with the packaging. Brings me back to pulling weeds in the yard. For those that know that story, they know that story. But of course, Apocalypse had an awesome first edition figure way back in the Toy Biz days, but the second version was an all-time favorite of mine. Of course, we'll do some Apocalypse comparisons later on in this video, so stay tuned for that. But very cool retro carding. Of course, we know this by now. Very thick cardboard on this. Absolutely do love that. You got the Uncanny X-Men. You got a little glamour shot. Old school box up there with the old school Marvel Comics logo. Absolutely love this. I would love to be a mint-on-card completionist of this line. If I had the space, I would. Totally nostalgic. Looks really cool. But we're going to open it up. We're going to open it up for science, and we're going to open it up for the space of room in my house. So there you go. On the back, got a little glamour shot. Got that old school kind of graphic there. All kinds of different foreign languages as well. But let's read the back. Let's see what it says about our old buddy. Apocalypse. Look upon the future and tremble. He is Apocalypse, the world's most powerful mutant, and from the ashes of our world, he will build a better one. Yeah, that's very true. He really will do that. So Apocalypse, one of the big dogs, one of the big X-Men baddies. We're going to get him out of the package here. This big, big package, like I've said. Oh my gosh, let me get him out. There it is, out of the cardboard plastic prison. How cool does that look, though? We're going to miss this when this eventually does go bye-bye. That is for sure. It looks so cool, so nostalgic. See you later. Heavy frisbee there. Off to the races. Spider-Man style. Bam. See you later. Goodbye. And now we're down to the old plastic prison. The dual plastic prison for Apocalypse. Look at that. Interesting times there. Figure out what all these accessories are about, but there he is in the plastic prison. Big deluxe figure, of course. A little bit based on the Build-A-Figure we've had. We had a Age of Apocalypse figure. We've had a few Apocalypses over the last couple of years. The one I'm really, really excited about, I think it's coming first of 2023, is the Diamond Select Apocalypse. We know Diamond Select, they do an amazing job on big figures like Apocalypse. So that should be a very, very cool one. I'm very excited to get that one in my possession. Stay tuned for that, of course. Get Apocalypse out. Oh my gosh, there it is. Uh-oh, we got little effect pieces here, and of course they're taped in. Why wouldn't they be? And there it is, plastic prison. See you later, goodbye. Then we get a second plastic prison with Apocalypse, a big effect piece, some wire pieces, things like that going on. I'm okay with it. What is this like thing up top though? Jeez, hard to get some of this stuff out of the package, I tell you what. I'm not sure what this is. Ugh, come on. Jeez, there it is. See you later. Goodbye. I'm not even sure what this thing is. I guess it... Oh, it's an arm weapon. Okay. Very cool. Very cool here. I like that a lot. Very cool. All right, let's get these accessories. Let's take a look at those first. Like we usually do, we'll take a look at both heads together, but we get some effect pieces. We get two very, very small blast pieces here. Very cool, though. I always like to get these accessories, especially ones we don't get very often. We've had these before, I think, in orange. I'm sure we've had them in red before, but cool to get the smaller blast pieces. And, of course, you got the big, big blast piece right here. I wonder if that fits in his hand. Does not fit in his hand. So we do have the big blast piece right there. We do get two Fists of Fury if Age of Apocalypse is going to come, and he's going to, you know, change the world in his own thing. He's going to have to do it with a couple of iron fists. So good to have fists with Apocalypse. And like I said, we got a big arm cannon here, so it fits into the hand. And once again, very, very cool. And then we get some of these wires here for Apocalypse, which really bring me back to the old Toy Biz days. You know, ripping some of these wires, breaking some of these wires. I don't think they are, no, they are not bendy wires in the bendy tradition, but they do have a bend to them. We get 2 gray wires here, so that is pretty cool. Now we get down to the old Apocalypse figure himself, and man, I'm excited for this one. Very retro color inspired. You got the blues, you got the purple. Very interesting because this really does fit in with your X-Men animated series figures, but it's not in the same packaging style, which is an interesting take by the Marvel team. I'm not sure exactly why they didn't put this in like a deluxe box, maybe a 2 VHS box style set they could have done. Instead, they went with the retro card idea. I guess for somebody that opens them, either works for me, I guess, but I could see some people saying, I wish it was on that VHS style packaging, and some people saying, I wish it was on this. It is, once again, choose your own adventure, and you like what you like. But let's run through this articulation quick. Arms go all the way around. His shoulder pads do move out of the way a little bit. They are not removable, so you got to be careful with these, but they do move out of the way. You do get a bicep cut. You do get a very tight elbow joint, hands side to side, back and forth, hands removable as well. Head side to side, back and forth, a little bit limited by his cowl around there, so that's just to be expected there, but of course the head is removable. You do get waist articulation, do get a big old loud ab crunch. Can't hear that there. He can do those big old Apocalypse splits. You can do a thigh cut. You can do a double jointed knees very tight. Big, big feet down as well. Ankles back and forth, side to side. Just a very, very cool big figure. And Apocalypse is one of those guys that should always be a big figure. And one thing I really loved about Apocalypse was he could grow if he wanted to. And, you know, say what you want about the HasLab that's going on right now, the Ghost Rider HasLab. I truly would have loved a Punisher van or a giant Apocalypse, because Apocalypse could grow. So I'd love this just 5 times the size. Give me one of those. I would love that. Hopefully one day we get one of these deluxe Apocalypses. We'll talk about more about that in this very video, so stay tuned for that. But let's see if I can pop this hand off, and I want to put on this weapon hand, I guess we'll call it, for lack of better words here, if I can get it. Let's see. It doesn't want to go on the tightest. I might have to play with it. Or do I need to take... That does not come off. Trying to figure out how this goes on there without it... There we go. You just have to be smart. No, maybe. I don't know. I'm having trouble getting it in there. Let's see. I'll try it again. Maybe it only goes on one hand. Does it only go on this other hand? We're going to learn right here on the fly, I guess. No, I don't know. I'm having trouble with it. Maybe it's user error, but it's definitely a peg, and it should work into the hand. But I'm having trouble getting it to stay because, of course, it hits up against here, so that's not going to help. Or does this... Oh, yeah, user error. These do come off. So FYI out there, those do come off. You pop those off, and you're in much better business right there. So you can do that. Not sure. I guess we'll pull it like that, of course. And then you do plug these in. We'll do it for all the glamour shot. He's got the 2 port holes on the back. Port back here. Put this up. You got Apocalypse all day long. So we've seen that before. But we'll take a look at that. The blast effects... They do fit in here. That really helps. That really gives that a little extra pizzazz, really, is what that gives that. And you get a little effects over here. Yep, you can even put the little ones in. So I do like that. I love that idea. I'm here for that. I love these choose your own adventures on the arms. You got to make sure you're taking off his gauntlets, though. That was my user error there. So don't be like Kyle. Make sure you do it right the first time. But we get these hands back in. Well, let's take a look at the head sculpt on Apocalypse now. See what we think of. Apocalypse Now, that's what it is. He's got the mean mugging mad face going on, showing his teeth. Absolutely do love it. They always say he's the oldest mutant of all time. I don't know if that's changed since my reading days, but he's been around for centuries upon centuries, old Apocalypse. But he looks really good. You got the blue kind of skull cap going on, a little box up there, a nice weathered face with some wrinkles, a bit of a dark wash going on. Just a really, really good head sculpt. Somebody hands me this head, I'm going to say, oh, there's my boy Apocalypse. Just got him. And this other head here, I'm probably going to stick with the head that's on him. This one is the mouth closed. Still mean mugging Apocalypse. I think we'd still know this is Apocalypse. Just, I don't know, something about the teeth showing really brings this one home for me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys as well. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? That's always a $1,000,000 question we always have to answer here. And he does fit. You can see it right there. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% at Ringside Collectibles. Of course, you can get stands. You got to make sure you get the Mattel stands. Don't get the Jazzwares ones. Those aren't going to work for Apocalypse, but he should stand pretty well on his own. as we can see right there. Big deluxe figure. I love it. I do have another Marvel Legend. I have Peter Parker retro carded figure back in the day, so you can kind of see the difference between a normal, standard, I would say, size Marvel Legends and Apocalypse. That's quite the height difference between these two guys. Of course, we've had other Apocalypses. This is the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure back in the day. A lot of reuse from this, but also a lot of newness from this one as well. I wonder if these heads... Yeah, the heads are pretty much the same thing, but just different color, different shading, things like that. A lot different here. A lot similar as far as the size and everything, but the overall body stuff, the extensions here is all brand new on this one. And this one is more animated series, where this is, I guess, more comic book, really, is how I justify it to myself. But I'm going to display this one with my X-Men Animated Series VHS tape collection. That's where this one's going to go for me. This one's going to go, I think I have him fighting in Xavier's Mansion is where I have him on my displays right now. Of course, we do have the other Apocalypse from the Age of Apocalypse. And you guys know from my reviews on the channel, I love the Age of Apocalypse. That was my prime reading time with X-Men. I was eating it all up. I loved everything Age of Apocalypse at the time. So I was buying all the comics. I was getting all the crossovers, everything. So that line I really do enjoy. I hope we get a third one. I don't know, though. Line 1, Line 2 both went to pretty deep clearance. So I don't know if we'll end up getting a third one. But... this one is really cool in its own way. But I think out of all these, I think I'm still going to prefer this one. I'll have to spend some time with it, but this one's really hitting close to home. But one of my all-time favorites, I still have this from when I was a little kid, is the Apocalypse Toy Biz. Now, if you guys remember, they had the regular Toy Biz Marvel X-Men figures, all that kind of stuff, but they also sold the 2-up sizes as well. Well, I didn't buy the 2-up sizes unless it was a character that was an extra large character. Talked about earlier, Apocalypse could grow, so I used this in my childhood figure fed with my X-Men. Apocalypse would grow, and this is the one the X-Men team would have to fight. Had a lot of hours of play time with this guy. Absolutely loved it. Very cool version of Apocalypse. Still holds up all these years later. Just absolutely love this one. I guess it's a little bit more akin to this one color-wise, but this in thought process, I guess we'll call it. But you can't go wrong from where I sit, of course, right here at this table with any Apocalypse figure. He's an all-time great. He's an all-time favorite of mine. I'm happy to get this one. The more Apocalypses, the merrier. Like I talked about earlier, there's that Diamond Select one coming 1st of 2023. I'll be getting that as well, so stay tuned to that one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bell on so you don't miss a video. Of course, make sure you like this video. Helps the channel, and you've made it this far. You might as well give it the old thumbs up. And then I said subscribe, hit the old notification bell. And don't forget about the Patreon channel where you can get videos like this much earlier, bonus content, exclusive content, early access to videos, giveaways. There's a lot going on over at the Patreon channel. And best of all, you do support the channel via the Patreon. You can support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson as well. And then don't forget to follow along on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Apocalypse Retro Card, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.